Everyone knows that moment when a villain from G4 of My Little Pony gets the so-awaited redemption arc. Am I right? That classic Twilight speech about friendship and second chances and a rainbow explosion, and voila, another enemy becomes an ally. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and does every villain deserve a redemption? Because some characters shouldn't be forgiven. That's what we are discussing today, and for that we are going to dive deep into G4 to answer a controversial question. Which characters should not have been spared or forgiven? Grab your Applejack juice and come with me since the debate will be heated. 1. Queen Chrysalis, the episode A Canterlot Wedding. Let's begin with one of the most iconic villains, Queen Chrysalis. I know, she brought an awesome story arc for the changelings, but let's be real, thank God she didn't get a redemption in the series. Why? Because she is the sort of villain that simply doesn't want to change. In the episode To Where and Back Again, where Torx presents to us the concept of sharing love instead of stealing, what does Chrysalis do? She refuses the offer, and honestly, I support her. Chrysalis is the perfect example of a character that works best and as an absolute villain. She is manipulative, strategic, and has a dark charisma that keeps the audience hanging to the edge of the chairs. Now imagine if she is forgiven. A forced redemption arc for Chrysalis would only have weakened the character. The series was spot on by telling her flee. But be honest, if it was to defeat her for once, Equestria would be a better place. And maybe we could avoid that last arc of villains from previous seasons that got in the last one. Second one, Starlight Glimmer episode The Cutie Map. Okay, before you guys cancel me, let's talk. I know that Starlight is one of the most beloved characters in G4. I'm not saying that she didn't deserve a redemption, but maybe forgiveness came too early. Recapping the episode, in The Cutie Map from season 5, Starlight literally destroys many timelines just because she lost a childhood friend. Like, gal, therapy is a thing, you know? She almost dooms Equestria eternally in chaos, and what does Twilight does? Invites her to live in the castle. Imagine if the same thing happened to Tyrek. Would Celestia have said, okay, you almost doomed the world to eternal destruction, what about some tea? It seems a little bit off, right? Maybe Starlight should have faced some heavier consequences before getting her spot in the group. Not to mention that, even though she is a favorite to many people, her protagonism was so apparent in the last seasons of the series that some fans dropped the series before it ended. This is too much. Which side are you in the story? Do you really love the character, or did you also quit the series after her excessive protagonism? Third position is Discord from the episode Return of Harmony. Oh, Discord, the spirit of chaos and disorder that we all love to hate. Or hate to love. Whatever, the fact is that he should not have been forgiven so easily. In the episode Keep Calm and Flutter On, Fluttershy managed to revamp Discord with her infinite kindness, but honestly, does this make sense? He literally turned Equestria into a living chaotic nightmare, and even after being rehabbed by Fluttershy, betrayed the pony's trust once again. Even worse, in the episode Twilight's Kingdom, he gives the main 6 to Tyrek. Of course that in the end he redeems himself, but it's hard to ignore the fact that he put the entirety of Equestria in danger again. If it was any other villain, would forgiveness come that quickly? Discord is a force of nature, and maybe it would be more interesting to see this as an anti-hero, rather than a refurbished friend. After all, chaos is chaos, right? Fourth position is Tempest Shadow from My Little Pony the movie. If you watched the G4 movie, you know that Tempest Shadow has one of the best villain entrances in the franchise. With her broken horn and a tragic history, she is one of the most complex and interesting characters, but in the end, it was a little too easy. Tempest helped Storm to dominate Equestria, capture the princesses, and spread terror. All she needed to switch sides was a lane flame switch from Twilight? Like, there was an emotional arc and all, but was this enough to erase all she did? Ideally, maybe it would be better if she sees her work to regain the pony's trust, instead of just be accepted wholeheartedly. After all, redemption isn't something that comes from one day to another. 5. Cozy Glow, episodes, school race, and the ending of the end. We arrive to the most controversial character of G4, Cozy Glow. And look, I'm gonna say it, Cozy Glow should not have been spared. And I made more than one video stating this and why I have this opinion. First of all, she is just a kid. I know that she is devious kid that almost destroyed all magic in Equestria, but still, it's hard to believe that the best destiny they could give her is to be turned into stone along with Tyrek and Chrysalis. But at the same time, Cozy never showed regret for what she done. Different than other villains, she didn't have a deep trauma or a noble motivation for her actions to be justified. She was evil because she wanted power. Is this enough for an excuse for the punishment that she received? Maybe not. On the other hand, forgiving Cozy Glow could deliver the wrong message. After all, not everyone deserves a second chance, especially when your actions put the entire world at risk. 6. Babseed, episode 1 Bad Apple. Now let's talk about a character that it's not an exactly villain, but that caused some hazard. Babseed, Apple Bloom's cousin. In the episode, Babs appears as a bully, causing all sort of problem with the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Of course, at the end we find out that she was only acting like this because she suffered bullying in the school. So, as usual, friendship solves everything, right? But let's take a closer look at this. Was she really forgivable? Babs literally joined the crew that was making fun of the Crusaders and become a bully on her own. Okay, she was trying to protect herself from bullying, but does that justify taking advantage of other ponies? It's that classical dilemma. I was once hurt, so I must hurt others to protect myself. The issue with Bab's arc is that forgiveness comes so easily. At the end, everything is sorted out with the Crusaders, with a song and some talking. But shouldn't the Crusaders think a little bit more after trusting her again? After all, friendship is a two-way street, something that needs to be earned, since it doesn't come as a gift after an apology. Besides that, what happened with the consequences of her actions instead of just leaving it alone? Maybe the series could have shown Babs trying to make up for everything she did, like helping the Crusaders in some mission, or even to face the bullies that inspired her to act that way. That would be a big responsibility lesson, way more powerful than what we got. At the end, Babseed was forgiven because she was also a kid dealing with problems that was bigger than her. But was the message that they delivered really the best one? Is something we need to think about. So, what do you think? Who should not have been forgiven in G4? Do you guys think I'm being too harsh on this one? Comment down below. Let's keep the discussion going in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and hasta la vista.